Man. So you know, there was lots of really great information on the first video that I had to abandon because it was being censored to bejesus. So hopefully this second video is allowed to reach. I got the notification on the other phone, so maybe other people will get the notification too. Cause I'm a bad guy. But I suggest that you watch the previous video to get the first part of this conversation. We're talking about the Call of Duty article written in August of 2010 in the jewishcurrents.org newspaper or online magazine, whatever. For being a public intoxication. It doesn't matter what the first and second videos are. Praise the name of Jesus. Like again, who talks like that? This guy is like, it doesn't matter about the pedophilia being exposed. What matters is Jesus, the Jewish guy. And apparently, I have at least 2 dumbasses on here, yet I have 0 viewers. Interesting how that works. What I'd said was the IDC quickly established the Situation Room as a permanent fixture. The Situation Rooms were developed all over the United States. You have to go watch the other one, right? The IDC quickly established the Situation Room as a permanent fixture of the university. With the help of U.S.-based pro-Israel organizations and software developers, it also began exporting this aggressive communications model to the friar communities in the diaspora. Today, community managers and volunteers meet regularly in media rooms around the United States, or these days virtually. This was redone during COVID, and trawl the internet for posts they deem anti-Israel, which they feed into the back end of act.io. These messages then become the basis for a sprawling online game. When a new, and this is a part that actually worries me, because one of my most bestest loyalist watchers named Mary. Mary tried to infiltrate this and tried to sign up to it. And that was the last communication I got from her. So I don't know what happened to Mary after this. But when a new user wants to become a Hasbara soldier, they create an account on the app and undergo a training regime with encouragement from a YouTube narrator who explains how the app can upgrade your activism. Again, think about this in Muslim terms. Think about this in it existing for anybody else. They have a system set up to where average people can join in, make a fake account, then be given missions to try to interfere with people like me who talk bad about them. It's fucking shocking, really. And you can see it in the comment section that nobody actually addresses what I'm saying because they know. Spammers flooding the comments. Right, they have to. They're desperately trying to prevent communication between us. They're trying to prevent anybody from asking me questions. They're trying to prevent the exposure that is, it's already happening. Like, they're fucking, their goose is cooked. Right? I would be... It's hard to think Israel will be around in a year or two. Like they're going to be eliminated. And it will make the world a much better place. Absolutely. Someone drop a nuke on there. There's no such thing as nukes, but if there was, then one would be dropped on them. The app then offers a series of missions to complete. Tapping a mission brings the user to a briefing where they are presented with a short description and a screenshot of the target, a social media post, and guidance on how to respond. Janie, what's happening? I'm explaining this to you. I'm explaining the comment section to you guys right now. You know what? I'm trying to explain it. If through my explanation, you guys find something wrong with it, something untrue, then by all means, debunk what I'm saying. Even though everything I'm saying is lies and fake news, depending on the nature of the mission, this might mean writing a hostile comment or flagging a post as inappropriate, or it might mean sharing or upvoting an allied post. Act.io provides participants with talking points, but also encourages them to develop their own language, lest they be marked as bots by social media platforms. Gee, sounds kind of familiar, doesn't it? The user is then brought directly to the platform where the target appears and carries out the operation. So they sign into the Act.io platform. Their character is given to them, whether it's the Shmuley character or it's Joel or it's Sirius or whatever these dumbasses are going by. It's not always the same person operating the account, which is why you'll notice subtle differences. Not much. They're all pretty much the same. But subtle differences in the presentation or when they deny that they said something. I never said that. Yeah, you did. Right? But they sign in. They have a list of missions. I had been playing No Man's Sky recently. And this sounds like No Man's Sky, where you go to the mission hub and then it gives you an option of 4 different missions or whatever. You click on the mission. It gives you a briefing of what you're supposed to do, what your rewards are, blah, blah, blah. You click on the mission. Then you get into your ship. And when you leave, the instead of the ship flying out of the mission center, if the mission happens to be in the realm that you're in, then you fly off. But if the mission is in a different realm, then it takes you to that realm. And then it's up to you to then complete the mission. Anything would think they're on a Star Wars mission. Well, that's basically what this is saying to you. It's a massively multiplayer online game. They've turned it into a game. And I wish I knew somebody else that knew Mary, was close to Mary, knew how to get in touch with Mary, because she tried to infiltrate this. She tried to sign up for an account, and she disappeared. I haven't heard from her since. Matter of fact, I'll read you. So the last time I heard from Mary was April 17th. She's talking about, she likes the new song. She says, by the way, that Joel or Joe guy on your live is definitely a pedo. That shit pisses me off. They don't even try to deny it. To me, saying you're pacing around, or however he said it, is way more telling than saying, no, we're not pedophiles. Exactly. That's fucking disgusting and false. But I digress. Oh, the song is amazing. Okay. Oh, that was. She had said, let's see. Amazing. She said, I just Googled act.il a few times a couple of months ago and didn't see anything like this. You're always stumbling on something, blah, blah, blah. It's pretty big. I also think you're right about the points about the other thing. I'm so fucking stupid. I got the app. What is the ID number? Is this what it looks like? This is I wish I could show you, but this is the registration for national identification. Registered already. Why should you register? You forgot your, or maybe back to the login screen password. The registration process is divided into several steps. To shorten the registration time, all fields must be filled out according to the instructions. Average registration time is about 15 minutes, including check digit, 9-digit ID number. What the fuck is their 9-digit ID number? Do they all have ID numbers that we don't know about? Yeah, so the last that when she sent that was on April 12th, and then April 17th was the last time I heard from her. And April 21st was the last time that she saw one of our my posts. So it's been fucking that long. April 21st. It's June what? June 1st now. So all of May and half of June of April, this broad's been missing. Mary's one of you guys. Mary's just a random person that was like, hey, I really dig what you do, and was very helpful and you know, very engaged outside of my feed. Like she would do her own shit and then talk to me about it, tell me about it. That's crazy. Maybe it is doing the same thing to her messenger. Yeah, maybe it is, Matt. You know, Matt's been on Facebook for a really long time. And recently, only we can assume because of me, he's being fucking, his page got shut down. Like he had to sign in, and he had, like they wouldn't let him access his messenger. Maybe that's what's happening. I mean, I hope that's what's happening to her. I'm actually really concerned for her. Oh, let's see. Let's go back to this though. The user is then brought directly to the platform where the target appears, me, and carries out the operation. Finally, they can jump back to the act.il app to earn their reward. Users receive points for each completed mission, unlock badges for achieving certain objectives, and are ranked on leaderboards that display the top activists in a given month. Missions vary wildly in tone. Many try to tap into Israel's preferred image as a cultural haven and a technological powerhouse. Last spring, for instance, some missions asked users to comment on Madonna's Eurovision Song Contest platform to combat quote culture hijackers, using the supposedly apolitical event as an opportunity to attack Israel. Matt sent a message. Exactly. There you go. Good job, dude. That's what I was thinking too. I wish I had her number. To suppose others directed users to comment on the failed Bereshit moon landing and marvel at, quote, Israel, despite its size, can still make astronomical achievements. But they failed. They failed. You can't find Facebook. You look up Williams Guy. Williams Guy. Fine, just go to the fucking band page, and you'll easily be able to find me through the band page. Sign up to the band page, you know, like, share, sub, all that shit, so when this thing gets shut down, you're still able to communicate with me. And really, just go to the fucking website. Why don't you guys go to the website? The website is the best way. In the description of every video, there are multiple links to the website, or to both the website and the Facebook page. There are plenty of music videos for the Facebook page in the description of every video. Just I have to put it in after the video is done, or else it fucks with my fucking my feed. One mission sent users to rally around a fashion influencer on Instagram who was criticized for traveling to Israel. I mean, seriously, imagine this for anything else. I mean, I can't even imagine it for anything else, let alone it being condoned. Like, if there's other groups out, imagine if Budweiser had an entire, a section, an entire operation using students to attack anyone who said anything negative about drinking or promoted a different beer or whatever. Like, people would flip out. They would say that's unfair. Okay, but there was like 6 Bilderbergs groups. Mine is the best one. Mine's the best one. Just look at just go to a previous video if you must, and go into the description. That's all you got to do. While some missions seek to distance culture from politics, others are explicitly political, asking users, for instance, to sign a petition in which criticism of Israel is condemned as anti-Semitic. I would just love it. When people are enough to call me that. And see, when they do the spam thing, they're doing the spam thing in the hopes that if one of your comments comes through and I don't see it, that they'll be able to spam it off the screen, right? Still, other missions pled for users to report videos on Instagram or Facebook that supposedly incite and glorify terrorism, even if the offending content is a provocative music video set to a political song from the 1970s that does not advocate violence. I know. I see you, Mary Janie. Each mission is accompanied by a title card that fits the hyperbolic language of ACT.IL's directives. While cultural missions tend to have a positive slant, with heart-filled pink and purple title cards, many missions feature explicitly racist language and violent imagery. These cards feature depersonalized, closely cropped, angry red photos of anonymous Arab males wearing keffiyehs, throwing stones, setting fires, and rioting. One mission asked users to like a Twitter comment responding to an article from Reuters news service, quote, "The vast majority of Gazan deaths were terrorists," is what they were supposed to say. Has a card that shows the head and hand of a keffiyeh-clad young man or youth ready to launch a stone. Anybody throwing stones at tanks is so much more brave and been so much more abused and whatnot than you can even imagine. The funny thing is they fail to realize all you have to do is scroll up to see the comments, and as far as IQ goes, they have the IQ of a turd. Well, considering they usually smell like turd, it fits. Just don't want to get bum steered to a fake account posing it. They don't really do that as much anymore. They used to spend a lot of time and effort on fake accounts. They really used to, but it worked against them. That's why they stopped. Because what would happen is they would recruit regular people who are just trolls for the fuck of it because they're losers in life, and You know, trolling is fun for them, I guess. But they would recruit regular people talking a whole bunch of shit about me. But when those regular people started coming to the live feeds and seeing shit for themselves, I would swing them left, like over and over again. If they weren't friars, they were like, "Wait, they said you were this, and apparently, obviously, you're not that." And so, you know, they stopped making the fake pages nearly as much because it was helping. You know, nothing they can do negatively affects me. Everything they do works to my advantage because I'm fucking righteous. Because I'm telling the truth. You can't demonize truth. Like how Israel always claims that if you open up the books on Israel, you demonize Israel. Well, if you weren't disgusting, foul, fucking pedophile, genocidal creatures, nobody could demonize you. You know, I can't fucking sit here and make the good guy sound like the bad guy. How? If I'm using factual information, like the Mishnah Nada, you know, there's nothing that can be said in the contrary. They are absolute heroes, those John. The ones that are still fighting, fuck yeah. It's like when white people are like, yeah, the black people are burning down their own businesses. Why are they rioting like that? Why don't they just do what they're supposed to do? Like, do you know how many fucking petitions, how many rallies and protests and marches and just everything black people could possibly do to try to do it the right way? Like, they've done it. For you to get so mad that you're going to just, you know, you're burn down the town you live in, you have to be at your wit's end. You have to be pushed so far that you're snapping. And that's basically, you know, when you're fucking dumb enough, I mean, let's be honest, dumb enough to throw stones at people with guns and fucking tanks and shit, that's a level of desperation that none of us thankfully know yet. I'm really worried about all these data centers going up though. They doesn't seem right. Especially since China has proven that building the data center in the ocean, out in the ocean, is like exponentially better. You know, all the water you need, less power, less damage, less environmental impact, less. But that's because they're for that. Another card shows just a hand holding a knife dripping with blood, an allusion to a spate of stabbings committed against Israelis in 2015-16. Yeah, that guy got stabbed in the leg just like that other guy and that other guy and that other guy and that other guy and that other guy. They all got stabbed right in the leg. Didn't die? No. Stabbed in one of the safest places possible? Yeah, they weren't even close to hitting the ephemeral artery. Nothing like that. This is how they operate. It's all just fake. This is the image that was being shared. Okay. One defining feature of the Act.il network is its no logo policy, an explicit practice of removing sources and context from publicly shared images and documents. As the Act.io website and promotional documents explain, the no logo policy is designed to persuade people who don't already have strong opinions about Israel. It functions as a kind of anti-brand, making ideological statements appear neutral and organic. Like, it's all just fucking lies. It's all lies and deception front to back. They don't even hide it. Context highlights the subjectivity of political rhetoric. Act.il aims to wash context away and thus portray particular right-wing Zionist views as obvious or indisputable. Yep. They're definitely not going to talk about Mishnah Nida, though. Because they know their whole, like, if you start talking about Mishnah Nida, they're like, oh yeah, well, what about that genocide? Isn't that genocide really bad? And you're like, yeah, fuck yeah, the genocide. And you just completely get distracted. They hide the worst thing with something that's really, really bad. Because they know it's negative press, negative things that keep people's attention. You know, that's why the news is what it is. Instead of the news being a bunch of positive stories about how Goyim are helping each other and making the world a better place, it's negative, 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 sensationalist, that kind of shit. And so they know if they want to hide, like a great example of it is the Temple Israel attack that happened a few months ago. You guys remember when the Temple Israel here in Detroit was said to be attacked by the Lebanese guy who drove his fireworks and lit his car on fire and then got into a shootout with the security there where nobody got hit. And then at some point he was like, fuck it. And then turned the gun on himself, shot style. Remember that? Where Sheriff Mike Bouchard said he saw a video of what happened, and when he decided, he said the guy didn't have a gun. The video that he said he saw, which Temple Israel is a fortress, so there should be endless video of this attack. If it's in fact real. There should be endless videos of it. There should be videos of the dude sitting in the parking lot for 2 hours, unmolested. An Arabic guy went to Temple Israel and sat in the parking lot for 2 hours without security coming and asking him what's up. Like, if you believe that, you're dumb. Like, I don't even know how else to describe it. You're just fucking stupid. You can't sit in an Israeli parking lot or a Friar parking lot for more than 2 minutes if you don't belong there. They know every car that's supposed to be there. And the Temple Israel was up on a hill. And you had to drive up this driveway, this long driveway to get to it. And there's security footage everywhere. As a matter of fact, it's the highest, ranking sort of security footage. It's the highest. It would be like, it would be like the top tier security footage because it's all Israeli, right? And so about an hour into the 3-hour debacle, the shit show, where literally, like, you're talking about cutting down the tree you're not going to cut down? I know. He's been talking about cutting that shit down for like 3 years. Phone call. Into the whole fake story, the Israelis announced that they were going to drop all charges against the 6 Israeli soldiers caught on tape raping a Palestinian man. The woman who took the video and then released it, she got arrested. She got in trouble. The rapist Palestinian, or the rapist Israelis, only didn't get in trouble, but were made into pseudo celebrities, and all charges were dropped. So to cover up the worst thing, they false flagged something really bad. There was an attack on Israel. You know, it's what they do. You know? You bring up metzitzia, they're like, oh, well, only 11 babies got herpes, and only 3 or 4 of those babies died. So this happens thousands and thousands of times per year. Why? What's the problem? If they're not getting hurt, then I don't see what the problem is. Hey, look, it's a fryer pipe. They're just disgusting. They're fucking gross, man. And it's crazy because I have it completely figured out. Why do you think I'm censored so much? Like, come October 7th, the October 7th false flag, where no Israelis were killed, nor were they taken hostage, my page should have blown up. There should have been tons and tons of people that were like, hey, I stumbled across this guy's shit. He was predicting this for the last 6 months. He's been saying this shit for years, but he was literally telling us that by the end of 2023, if by December of 2023 Israel hasn't done their false flag they used to justify the genocide, I'll quit. I'll quit going live. I'll quit doing everything. They're so dirty, animals, children. Is anything? No, nothing is off limits. They are off limits to us. That's it. Right? But when your book specifically says that if the friar rapes an animal, the animal gets killed, and specifically says that 3 years and 1 day means ownership, but less than 3 years and 1 day is basically like nothing happened. You're allowed to do it, though. Like, it's fucking wild, right? It's wild. Practice makes perfect, Jane. Practice makes perfect. Fake ass. This is a fake fucking cops episode. It's weird. Look at Shmuley. Shmuley is saying, get over it. So what? We rape our children. So what? Why do you care so much? That's all you need to hear, man. They're so dumb. They're so dumb. They say these things, and it's just... says everything. You know, the things that were done to guys like Jared Kushner. Jared Kushner needs to fucking die. Like, I hope that dude dies. You know? I hope God and Jesus start handing out heart attacks to all these pieces of shit. But imagine what was done to fucking Kushner. Like, it's probably part of the whole thing anyway, is to create victims of everyone. So they could say, look, they're just victims of the society they grew up in, and they don't know any better, and you can't blame them for what they experienced. It's like, yeah, I do see that argument, but fuck it. Fuck it. Gotta crack some eggs to make an omelet, right? You don't just be like, well, the cancer's just a small cancer. It has the potential to multiply and kill the person, but it's a small cancer, so let's just leave it alone. We'll see what happens. Right? They nobody thinks that's the smart move. But yep. Again, it's amazing that you don't support protecting Jewish children from rape, but it says you don't know how. What I'm saying is so foreign to you. What I'm saying has you so fucked up that you don't know how to respond. They don't know how to say things like, what? That's fucking gross. Kill all pedophiles. They don't know how to do that. Because they don't even think of what they're doing as pedophilia. What they're doing is following the fucking commandments. They're following their religious text. Oh, look, we have the other fake rabbi here who said raping children is an act of God. In keeping with this strategy, ACT.IL's website presents the app as a grassroots crowdsourced initiative fueled by the power of communities. Although in reality, it's very much a top-down production. The IDC commissioned the platform in conjunction with two well-funded U.S. pro-Israel-based groups, the Israeli American Council, the IAC, and the Maccabee Task Force. Maccabee Task Force, Sheldon Adelson, circumcision, it's all connected. Oh, look, I'm such a bad guy because I think we should protect Jewish children. What a bad guy he is. Look at what a bad guy. Look at that bad goy over there. He thinks we should protect Jewish children. What's wrong with him? Protect them from what? The former is a cultural organization devoted to Israeli American advocacy and has a lobbying arm that pushes anti-BDS legislation and hawkish foreign policy petitions. The latter, funded by Sheldon Adelson, is directed by Christian Zionist David Brog, is devoted to combating BDS on college campuses. Combating BDS on college campuses. I mean, again, if Israel had nothing to worry about, what would they be so concerned about? If they were actually the good guys, right? It's just like the reason why they don't make the fake pages anymore. Because I'm the good guy. And good people or decent people, when directed to me to be like, hey, attack this guy. Okay, fine. Yeah, we'll do it. When they get here and they're like, but this guy's saying what I think. We should kill pedophiles. We should overthrow these friar pieces of shit, especially since they're such pedophiles. You know, I never worry about anything like that. I do this openly, honestly. My name's used, my face is used because I don't fear them. There's nothing that in my past that I'm ashamed of. You know, I've made lots of mistakes, lots and lots of mistakes. I've done embarrassing shit all day. But I haven't done anything that would cost me my viewership. You guys, they wouldn't be able to find something in my past that shows I'm this bad guy. It just doesn't work that way. And if it was, I mean, obviously, after all these years, they'd have found it. Act.io was developed by Rallyware, an employee productivity software firm whose customers include Avon and Samsung, and its interface closely resembles a gamified employee training and surveillance tool. The app's human resources aesthetic and management style are reflected too in the media rooms that pop up or that pump data into Act.io. Website administrators recruit high school and college students to become volunteer mission coordinators with the promise that they will be coached and mentored by professional digital and social media managers. Which again, sort of sticks with why the commenters are such juvenile, you know, they're so stupid. They're so juvenile in what they say because they are. They're kids. Because he's terrified of me, James. You should say, why are you always up guys' ass if he's wrong? Right? The answer is because he's terrified. They are terrified. And they're using a ton of resource on me. Like, look at it. How many fucking people is it? Damn, that guy got his ass beat. Wow. Yeah, no, that's not from a fist. Obviously, this guy's fucked up. Why are you questioning him? This guy has a fucking lump that's bleeding here, and then his other eye is busted up. He doesn't know what the fuck's going on, dumb cop. LinkedIn searches for many of the activists topping the mission leaderboards show that the media room volunteers and paid staff tend to top the charts rather than the 22,000 grassroots users the network boasts about. This was back in 2020. When it was reinstated in early 2026 as Rise App, R-I-S-E, capital A-P-P, all one word, they were bragging that they transferred from Act.il to Rise App the 40,000 plus user base. Right? Yeah, so happy to found you. Thank you for all you. Hey, thank you for being here. Right? You know, I mean, this. I literally do this. It's selfish. I believe in true selfishness is the way to a better future for everyone. And true selfishness says, I want myself first and foremost. Myself, my wife, my children, their children, their children, their children, their children, to live the happiest, healthiest, safest lives possible. Myself first and foremost because I'm their fucking dad. They need their dad to be living a good, happy, healthy life for them to be able to do it. But for us to live the happiest, healthiest, safest lives we can live, everyone else has to be living the happiest, healthiest, safest lives they can live. That's how this works. Right? And the only way we can all live happy, healthy, and safe is if we get rid of what, you can't be like, I want to live cancer free. Let's just leave that little bit of cancer in my arm. Right? You want to end genocide. You want to end pedophilia. You want to end slavery. You have to end the thing that is facilitating those things. And luckily for us, they're so stupid and arrogant and careless that they come here and they make it so obvious, right? Whether it's on here or just in general. Like I'm not using some ultra secret dark web communications hacking tools that I got to get through, blah, blah, blah. I use what they want us to know. I'm literally reading look at this, Gabapentin and Neurontin is now the 5-year lawsuit. The life in a bottle. Life in a bottle. Oh yeah, it's going to kill you. Forgot what I was saying. Quit calling people stupid who believe in the Jewish Jesus. You're stupid. Again, it's not Zionism. Zionism is the thing they tell us that we should focus on. And Zionism is much more of the militant wing of their operation. Zionism does all of the outwardly violent bad things in that regard. But it's friarism itself that is raping the children. Right? That, whether they identify as a Zionist or not, doesn't matter. They support the rape of children. And that's what you have to understand. They're it's all a manipulation. Hiding the worst thing behind the bad thing. Genocide is as atrocious as it gets. However, raping children, like, I don't know which is, like where do, I think we all know raping children is worse. Especially when they're your own children. And piece of weed went down my throat. Piece of weed went down my throat. And they're using these MK Ultra style tactics to facilitate the psychopath fucking bubble that they have protecting them. I rebuke you in the name of Jesus. So why don't you just leave, you dumbass? Oh, man. This guy is so stupid. Pay attention to me. Pay attention to me. Please pay attention to me. I'm so angry. Stupid fucking clowns. What do you think the chances are, all of the people that are new, what do you think the chances are that at, it starts at, well, not today, it wasn't at 8, but at any given day at 8:30 a.m., within about a 10-minute window, a whole bunch of people who identify as being part of 0.183% of the world's population or 2% of the U.S. population are here crying about what I'm saying? What are the chances that friars are here crying? I encourage any of you to go live. Don't even talk about friars. Just talk about whatever. Fucking A, talk about friars. See if all of a sudden you're bombarded with friars crying about what you're saying. See how long it takes for you to get to that point. The fact that they don't ignore me, like I'm if I was nothing, if they weren't worried about me, they would just ignore me like they do so many other people. You can go watch anybody else that you want to and read their comment section. You're definitely not going to see any of these pieces of shit. But you won't see what I get. Right? Yeah, he's angry. He's angry. He's probably snorting up a storm. I'm so mad. He's so angry, he's going to not address what's being said and cry about it. Fucking crazy. They're just so crazy. It's so shocking how stupid they are, and yet they're still in such a positive position. Like, how does that happen? Oh, he's a schizo. They're so stupid they say schizophrenia over and over again when it's not accurate. I'm not talking to voices in my head. I'm not hallucinating. I'm literally reading to you their information. And yet somehow it sounds so crazy what I'm reading that that's schizo. They love saying schizo. Again, one of the provided talking points that we're reading about right now. Act.il has had some tangible successes. When students at Pitzer College in Southern California pushed the school to drop its Israel Study Abroad program, the network organized a campaign with a widely shared petition, a video featuring student interviews, and missions directing users to contact the school and register complaints. While the vote to drop the program was passed by the student government unanimously, it was vetoed by the college president, whose explanation borrowed language from points found in ACT.IL's petition. The online network also claimed to have been instrumental in delaying the implementation of a quote, new ethnic studies curriculum for California high schools, by creating numerous missions encouraging users to argue that the curriculum was anti-Semitic and that it marginalized Jewish students. They make up 2% of the U.S. population. Literally, who gives a fuck about anything that has to do with them? Why would we? And in the same breath, why shouldn't I hate them? Why am I not allowed to hate them? What's so special about them that they are above being hated? It's all, yeah, of course. Of course they're worried. Right? I rebuke you in the name of common sense. How dare you reveal the demon? Right? Ken would blow me in a heartbeat. Ken would blow me in a heartbeat. If he had the opportunity and I was like, Ken, come here, give me a quick blowjob, he'd be like, ooh, okay. In a heartbeat. 9! Das ist nicht gut! The app's full user base can be difficult to mobilize. It just shows you, it says, their full user base can be difficult to mobilize because they're such lazy pieces of shit as is. In May 2019, ACT.IL directed its users to an emergency webpage of specific missions designed to defend Israel when the military opened fire on protesters participating in Gaza's Great March of Return. Speaking of which, why do we have Israel Day? Why does the Israel Day parade exist? Think about how ridiculous that is. A foreign country, a terrorist country that's committing genocide currently is having a parade, and every newspaper possible is crying about Mandami didn't show. Yep, he's here. Mandami didn't go to the parade. What's up, Scatty Scatty? What's up, Scatty Kitty? Yep. Look at how stupid these guys are. Why are believers so intolerant? Because they have to be. Because they can't be intelligent, they have to be intolerant. Everybody knows their shit's bullshit. These friars know their shit's bullshit. They know no God chose them. Why would God make them the chosen people while also making them the ugliest, most inferior physically people in the world? Like, what sense does that make? You're not going to make them good looking? You're not going to give them anything but a micro penis? Remember, they suffer from micro penis across the board. It's half the reason why they don't see the abuse of children as bad as they do. Because as they say, it's like poking the eye. It's like a poke in the eye. It's not hurting them. It's like a poke in the eye. We don't carry enough to hurt anybody. From Hamas terrorists. Yes, yeah. Yeah, because October 7th, no Israelis died or were taken hostage. But if they had, if Hamas was real in the first place, and they had attacked, they would have been absolutely justified. 1948, well, 1946, the Palestinian partition said that because of the genocide, because of the 6 million friars, that there were only 3 million in Europe at the time and most escaped here. Never mind the Havara agreement. But because of that, the Palestinians should be willing to give up 56% of their land and be happy with 44%. Stop. And when the Palestinians rightfully were like, go get fucked, what are you, crazy? The Israelis were like, all right, well, we'll take it all then. Other than the little 14% that they, or 10% that they left as a farm so they could practice their rituals throughout the year and each year where they're required to spill a whole bunch of blood, Christian blood. And believe it or not, Palestine was full of Christians. Just like Lebanon, full of Christians. Right? These are pedophiles. Funny how defending yourself from Israel's conquest is considered terrorism. Funny how you know, demanding that we protect the children is considered anti-Semitic. Even though anti-Semitism is the correct word. But, like, they make it sound like it's a bad thing if you're like, hey, you guys shouldn't be allowed to suck on baby penises. You guys shouldn't be allowed to rape children. That's anti-Semitism. And obviously, like, again, if you actually look at the level of interference I get compared to the numbers I have, it doesn't make sense. I only have 10 people watching. 10 people, 6 likes, and 2,600 subscribers. About to be 2,700. Again, because they can't be intelligent, they have to be intolerant. Nobody needs Jesus because God is imaginary. Exactly. Well, that guy's another pedophile, right? This is one of these pedophiles that it's a friar pedophile profile that pretends to be a priest. But because they're so stupid, they've used that profile on Sunday mornings before, when the priest should have been in church. Israel's our ancestral homeland, blah, 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 shit, blah, blah, blah. Again, our story says this, so it must be true, even though there's literally zero historical documentation to back it up. Zero. None of their claims are backed by history. And even though history is manufactured to suit them, none of their shit is backed by historical evidence. Again, if I was wrong, they wouldn't be here. They wouldn't be worried about someone like me spreading lies and falsehoods and blah, blah. They wouldn't care. I only got 13 people, remember? Who would care? 13 people, 7 likes, even though those numbers don't make much sense, other than censorship. They wouldn't care. Do you know how many other people exist without getting interference and have much bigger accounts than I do? Has Ian Carroll shown back up yet, or is he still missing? Your page is not easy to find. Yeah, no shit. Why do you think that is, Stephanie? Have you ever experienced that before? Can you show me another person that you've experienced these same things with? Somebody who you watch and you go, this guy should be huge. Why isn't this guy huge? On top of the music part of it, too. Like, I give away the music for free. There's not a lot of people doing that. Double threat? 18 viewers, or 15 viewers, 8 likes. If a feed is rolling along like that, 18 or 15 viewers, 8 likes, more than half of the people like the video, shouldn't the video expand? Shouldn't it blow up? How else are you supposed to go viral other than people watching you, liking your shit, and sharing your shit? What else are you supposed to do? But your music is better. Okay. You're wrong about everything, and your free music is shit. Even listening to it is paying. Oh well, hell yeah. Let's make sure we satisfy those urges for you. Oh shit. Oh, I don't think I can do it this way, can I? No, I can't. I mean, again, I hope to hell pedophiles don't like my music. I don't make music for Israeli pedos to be like, oh, this is great. Let me dance like a fucking moron. Let me run around like an idiot dancing to this. Oh, not gay, huh? Yeah, I don't make music for you. I hope you hate my music as much as you claim you hate me.
Stop this song and look up Team Jorge. It's more important than what you...
See, when you debunk, yep, you've debunked something I've said. What's been debunked here? I love how they think if they say stupid shit, like, because I said it, and I'm a friar, so if I say you're wrong, that's debunking you. The historical evidence is right there in the Torah and the Talmud. Yeah. The book is the evidence of the book. Yeah, the Sony claims that Sony makes the best DVD player. So that must make it true, right? If McDonald's says McDonald's is the best, well, that must make it true. Yeah. He's pretty feisty.
Die, pedos, die.
Die, pedos, die. Oh. The more you guys start pushing the music, the more terrified they're going to get. Right? They know that the music is the most powerful weapon. As much as I prefer this, I really like this, the music is more powerful because this can be lost in translation. People from all over the world don't speak English as a first language. They're going to miss things I'm saying. They're not going to understand things. But when it comes to the music, they can look up the words. They can translate it. And they can know exactly what the song says because the songs don't do that. They don't hide behind like, oh, well, it could be this or it could be that. You know exactly what each song is about. And that fucking terrifies them. Again, look at the view count, right? How is it I've gained 6 likes in the last 2 minutes and yet the feed has gone down in watchers? How does that even work? And again, like, I'm supposed to be upset because pedophiles and fucking genocidates? What do we call them? Genocidites? It didn't work. But they fucking don't like it? Oh. Like it says, they're so lazy that the app's full user base is difficult to muster. The Great March of the Return. But analysis by the Atlantic Council's Digital Forensic Research Lab found that the page it advertised received only about 300 visits. 56% from the US, 36% from Israel, and 8% from Russia. Even though 300 is a pretty good number off of nothing, it's still, when you have a 40,000, at the time, 20,000, it just shows you how fucking awful they are. They're just awful. They're just awful. Oliver, clothes off. Where you been, brother? Haven't seen you in days and days.
And shove it in their sleeves, hide faces and track marks. Their disgusting disease is racist.
The frequency is billion else. Yeah, Charles is amazing. Charles is the perfect counterpart. The thing is, you guys probably only have heard about 10% of the songs we have. With as many songs as we do have, working on a song a week this year, you haven't heard shit yet. We still have so much. We've been working Castle on the Mountain, first day off in 2 months. I don't know what Castle on the Mountain is. Intensity, however, can make up for lack of breadth. Act.il's band of committed users, including the young people recruited by the site to learn online attack tactics, increases the likelihood that any online criticism of Israel, no matter how innocuous or accurate, will result in pushback. The rapid expansion of the app, coupled with Israel's eagerness to sell its high-tech security technologies and strategies to other countries, suggests that these efforts reflect a vision of the future of right-wing propaganda and online activism. Success for Act.il, then, is not about going viral or reaching a critical mass, but about creating a standing army of trolls, always ready to take up arms in Israel's cyber war. Pretty fucking crazy. Pretty crazy. It's not something that most of you would even think about, right? Your music must be banned. It's white supremacist. How am I white supremacist? This is how stupid you are. Right? Because it's the pre-programmed bullshit. Has anybody heard me mention anything about white supremacy? I thought I was like really racist. I thought I was like, real prejudice against white people. Isn't that what you guys say all the time? But now I'm pushing white supremacist propaganda. So this is always sort of the best part here, right? Because we go with the Mishnah. Let's read it again, just for those who might have missed it earlier. Mishnah Nida. We're going to go to the Sefaria.org website. First, we're going to go to www.the-bilderberg-group.com. How many times do you ever watch a live feed that has more likes than it does viewers? Please tell me how that makes sense. So, the Mishnah Nida, according to Seraphia.org, what the fuck? Come on, load page. Page doesn't want to load. What the fuck is going on here? Alright, we'll have to try again. So, we'll pull the Mishnah on here. There we go. Okay, it's loaded now. So maybe now it'll work. Oh. So, this is Mishnah Nida 5.4. Oh, 11 viewers and 12 likes. Totally makes sense. Totally makes sense. A girl who is 3 years and 1 day old, whose father arranged her betrothal, is betrothed through intercourse. As the halalchic status of intercourse with her is that intercourse in all halalchic senses, which connotates ownership, right? Ownership comes from, that's what halalchic means, it's ownership. Get it? must be childless husband. And in the case where the childless husband, girl 3 years and 1 day old, dies, if his brother, the Yavam, engages in intercourse with her, he acquires her as his wife. And if she is married, a man other than her husband is liable for engaging in intercourse with her, because raping 3-year-olds is so fucking common. Liable for engaging in intercourse with her due to violation of the prohibition against intercourse with a married woman. Married woman, a 3-year-old little girl. And if the girl is less than that age, younger than 3 years and 1 day, the status of intercourse with her is not that of intercourse in all haloshic senses, meaning there isn't that ownership. If she's less than 3, there's no ownership associated. Rather, it is like placing a finger into the eye, just as in that case, the eye constricts, sheds tears, then returns to its original state. So too, in a girl younger than 3 years and 1 day old, the hymen returns to its original state. In the case of a boy, 9 years old, 9 years and 1 day old, whose brother had died childless, who engaged in intercourse with his Yavama, his brother's widow, the status of the intercourse is that of halalchic intercourse, and he acquires her as his wife. But he cannot give her a bill of divorce if he chooses to end the marriage until she reaches majority. And if he engages in bestiality, he disqualifies the animal from being sacrificed upon the altar, and the animal is stoned due to his act. Meaning they put the animal in a small pit and they stand around it and throw stones at it till it dies. By all means, tell me what I'm wrong about. I mean, they are anti-Semitic. The way they are trying to destroy the Semitic people proves that they are anti-Semitic. Semitic people in all of their existences, right? Whether it's the Gazans, the Palestinians, the Lebanese, the Syrians, the Iranians. These are all Semitic people, and Israel's destroying them. DNA tests are banned in Israel. Right? The last thing they want is more examples. 95% of those tested in Israel that have had DNA tests show that they have no Semitic DNA whatsoever, and that they come from Ukraine, they come from Europe, they come from America. Right? I love how they just blanket it. You're wrong about everything. I'm wrong? So now you're being... I love how, in order to maintain their Goyim are wrong, they become blasphemous. Right? They're denying what their book says. What the Mishnah Hadah says. Or Mishnah Nidah says. This is the Talmud. Why are they denying the Talmud? Hymen is not fruit in... Your ear doesn't grow back, and neither does your hymen. But seriously, they pop in and say these crybaby things. You're wrong about everything. You're wrong. Let's see, this is a page that joined 7 months ago and has no subscribers. What a surprise. Oh, I am so shocked. I am so shocked. I bet that's a real person, right? I mean, think about it. What's up, Karen? Apparently I'm lying again. Either I'm lying or these Jews are being blasphemous. And I don't understand why these Jews are being blasphemous. Aren't they proud of their thing? Aren't they proud of their belief structure? Aren't they supposed to defend it, to the end of the earth? Why are they all being so blasphemous? They wrote the Talmud, but if you quote it, you are anti-Semitic. Right. Or I'm lying. Right? I'm lying. Funny how quiet they get when you start pointing it out to them. And they don't have a programmed response as to what to say. This has to go back to the leadership, and they have, what are we going to say to this? How do you respond to this? Oh, well, say Israel has the right to defend itself. Say something that just brings it back around. This is such a great example of friars being blasphemous. It shows you that they don't actually believe in what they say. They believe in the benefit that comes from it. Especially in the male community, because, they're the kings. And because women aren't supposed to get pleasure from sex as far as they're concerned, which again, most people don't understand, but they're practicing fucking female genital mutilation. Female genital mutilation is they cut off the clitoris so that there's no pleasure for the woman. And then when they do that, they could say, oh, well, that's why they don't get any pleasure. It's not our micro penises. It's because we cut their shit off. But we didn't do that. We didn't do that. The binding of Isaac thing is just a disguise for female genital mutilation. I'm off the meds. Yep, off the meds. What you gonna do? It's not. It's fucked up, but it's not like a secret. It's a secret to you guys, to the Goyim. Like, share, sub if you're watching. Indeed. Indeedly do. But to them, it's like the best comparison is Catholics, right? Christians, Catholics, whatever. Christians, Catholics, in any other situation, if you told them they were symbolically drinking human blood and eating a human being's body, they'd be like, ugh, fuck that. I'm not doing that. Yet when it comes to their religious ceremony, to advance in the religion, to get to that next step, to get less thetans, to attain communion, they think nothing of pretending to eat a fucking dead body and drink blood. They literally don't even think about it. If they do think about it, it's more like they're thinking about how happy they are to be able to take communion and blah, blah, blah. They're not like, man, this is really fucking gross. Why are we doing this? And it's because once you're entrenched in it, once you've accepted the insanity, your parents have pushed it on you, your community pushes it on you, everyone you know says the exact same thing, you don't have a basis for it not being correct, especially since they have very strict, like, the internet that they have access to, if they have access to it, it's very well controlled. Like, they have to have it that way in order to keep the people stupid. And again, anybody wants to show me a video of a friar sounding intelligent, especially a settler, where they're actually making intelligent, reasonable arguments, and you can't help it but go, well, he's got a point there. If you want to show me that video, I'd love to watch it. I'd love to fucking watch it. The thing is, the only thing you're going to see is videos like where he's a fucking clown. He's such just a cowardly, sniveling little fucking pedophile weirdo. Like, everything about him, he just fails. He just fails. So you watch videos with him or you watch interviews with him, and it's like, 100% of the time, you're just like, dude, this guy's a fucking crackpot. He's a nutcase. The fuck is going on here? Ben Shapiro, the same thing. I would so love to crush Ben Shapiro. Stop. And also in a debate. Like I would take real pleasure in hurting a Ben Shapiro. But especially in a debate, platform where I get to fucking show the world just how stupid that piece of shit is, which is again why he never fucking he never debates anyone. You'll never see Ben Shapiro like, all right, Dan Bilzerian. Even though Dan Bilzerian's a company man too, so you might see that someday. Like I would take on Ben Shapiro and Shmuley as long as their microphones could be cut off. Because they wouldn't stop talking. And they just interrupt everything that they didn't like. I mean, climate change is a weird thing, but I obviously things are affected, but I think until we address what we're actually in, what climate we're actually in, we can't sit here and claim this or that. Now, pollution is a terrible thing. And I can't imagine pollution is good for anything. But when it comes to climate change, understand that they have you all distracted by the Earth being 1.5 degrees Celsius warmer than it was before. Do you know that if you went outside and then you went outside again and it was 1.5 degrees Celsius warmer, you wouldn't notice? You wouldn't feel it? It's just a big old fucking distraction that they keep us focused in one place. There's importance to it, which is why it works well. But the narrative we're given isn't true. You gotta stop using Zionist, man. Zionist is the word you're supposed to use. Zionist is a fallacy. How can you look at somebody and be like, well, that's a Zionist and that person's not? You can't. Zionist isn't identifiable. But I mean, again, I can read this over and over again, and it's funny when I point out that they're being blasphemous, they sure do disappear, don't they? You're right, that is my job. But you're making it more difficult by saying Zionist. I guess if you can bring people here, that's all that matters. I'd rather people talk about Zionists than not, but it's a manufactured thing. So it can be weaponized against us, right? If we're talking about the wrong thing, then we're making a mistake and we're able to be manipulated. That's like saying, well, the Bible calls them the synagogue of Satan, so the Bible must be like, no. It's just dumb shit. The reason the Bible calls it the synagogue of Satan is to keep you Christians away from it. Most people, everything in the Holy Talmud is of God. No, well then why are you denying it? I'm confused. If everything is of God and I speak blasphemy, why are you denying what it says? Remember a girl who is 3 years and 1 day, whose father has arranged her betrothal, is betrothed through intercourse? Remember? You're denying that. You're saying that's not the case. And that if a girl is less than 3 years and 1 day, it's like placing a finger into the eye. And just as in that case, the eye constricts, shed tears, and returns to its normal state, so too does the hymen return to its normal state? Original state? Please, elaborate. Tell us why you keep denying that then. And of course, there's metzitzia, which is sucking on the baby's penis. You hire a man to come to a party where your family and friends are there, and everybody watches as this hired man comes and cuts and then sucks on your baby's wiener. Like, by all means, please explain that. You're not going to deny that like you've been denying it, are you? Why are you so... You're usually quicker to respond. Did it really take that long for the word to come down from the top that that's what you were supposed to say? That was the best that they could come up with? I am changing the meaning of the verse to fit my anti-Semitic narrative. I'm changing the meaning of the verse. A girl who is 3 years and 1 day old, whose father has arranged for her betrothal, is betrothed through intercourse. Are you saying that intercourse means something different? Please tell me what I'm mixing up here so I don't keep doing it. I don't want to be saying shit wrong. Go on, put it into context for us. Tell us how there's no limit on when adult men can rape little girls in your community and why that's a good thing. It's a metaphor regarding very race and specific circumstances? What? No, it's not. No, it doesn't say that at all. It doesn't say that it's for this particular group or that particular group. This is Talmudic law. This covers the whole thing. Sounds like you're pretty desperately sounding stupid trying to, debunk something that you can't. I mean, again, this is Talmudic. Lies. What part's the lie? I'm missing. What part's the lie? Come on, Mordecai. The youngest, ugliest language in the world. Mordecai. Oh, Jesus. What a dumbass, Mordecai. Your parents are fucking stupid, man. But again, your mom was probably 13. If you're the oldest in the family, then your mom was probably 13 when she had you. And the father was at least 10, 15 years older, so what can you really expect? You're whore fucking piece of shit. I hate calling her a whore, but she's literally a whore. She's bought and sold. She's sold by the family to an adult man for 50 shekels. And then she doesn't even protect her own children from being raped and violated themselves. Like, what kind of piece of shit is your mom and your dad? Of course, your dad is a male. So he's got a micro penis and he's a piece of shit fucking, monster. But please, what part's the lie? A girl who is 3 years and 1 day old, whose father has arranged her betrothal, is betrothed through intercourse. What are we missing here? Where does it say this is only for a certain group or whatever? Well, do you denounce the Talmud? Will you condemn the Talmud? Of course not. Shut up, you dumb Christian. You're just so far out of your league, there's no point in even talking to you here. You're just dumb. We got you. You're a dumbass. We're having a big boy conversation here. We're not talking about your little fantasies. And then Jesus is looking out for me, and Jesus is, I'm praying, and thank you, Jesus, for this food I had to work for. And then other people picked and produced, and then I bought it, and then we prepared it, and then we have to clean it up. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Jewish Jesus. Metaphorical. Metaphorical for what? I don't even see what she's responding to, because I don't see the metaphor comment. But yeah, what's the metaphor? Doesn't sound like a metaphor. It sounds pretty specific. Really, I do skip over a lot. So let me just read you how specific this is. A girl who is 3 years and 1 day old, whose father has arranged her betrothal, is betrothed through intercourse, as the halalchic status of intercourse with her is that of intercourse in all halalchic senses. And in the case where the childless husband of a girl 3 years and 1 day old dies, if his brother, the Yavam, engages in intercourse with her, he acquires her as his wife. Let's see. The Talmud was written by the holiest blah blah blah. Guy Williams is changing and twisting to push anti-Semitism. See, again, you're just repeating the same dumb nonsense, but you're not actually addressing it. What part am I twisting? What part am I changing? What is going on here? You're the blasphemous one denying it. And I don't know what you're talking about. You're pretty fucking stupid though. You know, at the end of the day, you're proving yourself to be pretty stupid. Blasphemous devil snake. Can you imagine? You blasphemous devil snake. Ah. Can you imagine? And the blunt is the wart. Big old wart. You blasphemous devil snake. They're not just criminally insane, they're culturally insane. You have to understand, this guy truly believes what he's doing. Like I say, the Christians don't go, oh, we're partaking in cannibalism. No, they're taking communion. It's part of their gig and they don't think anything of it. In order to attain a covenant with Abraham, the boy has to have metzitzia. If he doesn't have the metzitzia, he doesn't have his covenant with Abraham. Right? In order for them to attain redemption and transcendence, they have to put their sins onto the child. And the only way they do that is through fucking rape. And once they achieve that transcendence, now they have redemption. Big old king snake, yes, Mr. Mojo Rising himself. Mr. Mojo Rising. Mr. Mojo Rising. Got to keep on riding. Riding, riding. I'm going riding, riding. I got the riding, riding. And with the riding, riding. Hey! Christians and friars are the same cult, yes, but there's the hierarchy. Christians, just like the friars, Christians believe the friars are God's chosen people and better than them. The people that killed their Jesus, their superhero, their Christian God's only begotten son, they also happen to be the chosen people. Christians are awful. I'm not a fan, but they don't bother you. They don't bother you with all the child rape, with all the separatism, with all the racism, with all the fucking the mistreatment. I guess it must not happen to you, so you don't care. How about you think about things beyond yourself? Anyway, he acquires her as his wife, and if she is married, a man other than her husband is liable for engaging in intercourse with her due to violation of the prohibition against intercourse with a married woman. And if she is impure due to menstruation at 3 years old, she imparts impurity to the one who engages in intercourse with her, who then renders impure all the layers of bedding beneath him, rendering them impure like the upper bedding covering a zav. I think that's a cum shot. In the sense that it assumes first-degree ritual impurity and does not become a primary source of ritual impurity, and it renders impure food and drink, but it does not render impure people and vessels. If she marries a priest, she may partake in teruma like that of any other wife of a priest. If she is unmarried and one of the men who are unfit for priesthood, a mamzer or halal, engages in intercourse with her, he disqualifies her from marrying into the priesthood. And a lot of ands in this run-on sentence. If she is the daughter of a priest, she is disqualified from partaking of teruma, which is like tithing or like offerings to God. I'm not really sure what teruma means. I'm sure there's a more fucked up version that I'm not finding. Finally, if one of all of those with whom relations are forbidden, as stated in the Torah, e.g., her father or her husband's father, engaged in intercourse with her, they are executed by the court for engaging in intercourse with her, and she is exempt because she is a minor. If the girl is less than that age, younger than 3 years and 1 day, the status of intercourse with her is not that of intercourse in the halakhic senses, ownership. Rather, it is like placing a finger into the eye. Just as in that case, the eye constricts, sheds tears, and then returns to its original state, so too, in a girl younger than 3 years, 1 day old, the hymen returns to its original state. To me, that sounds pretty specific. That doesn't sound like a bunch of metaphors. That doesn't sound like it's talking about any particular group or, Hasidiotic fucking, denomination or whatever. It sounds like it's pretty specific, don't you guys think? Like, I don't understand what Mordecai, good old Mordecai, what Mordecai Levi, what is Mordecai Levi claiming is being twisted? Or what am I doing here? Where are you reading this from? It's called the Mishnah, Mishnah, Niddah, Niddah, section 5.4. It's the Talmud. It's all the same. Here is the Hebrew version of it, in case anybody can read Hebrew. Or if from your perspective, it now looks like Arabic, because that's all Hebrew is Arabic in a mirror. Come on, Mordecai. They need to up the system. I thought this was the highest technological system. Why aren't you guys able to come up with a better response quicker? Remember when I said he's going to come back with something like Israel's allowed to defend itself? He came back with everything in the Torah and the Talmud is the word of God. Same shit. And I mean, that's just one section. Like, there's so many other sections. A baby girl, even one who is 1 day old, who experiences an emission of blood, becomes impure with the impurity of a menstruating woman. A 1 day old baby girl who has blood is considered to be a menstruating woman? Mordecai is an example of what's wrong with friarism. Talmud is the source material here. Right. I mean, again, no, he didn't. What part is blasphemous? Notice how quiet he is. Where are they? Normally they're in here swarming like the fucking annoying little gnats that they are. Constantly commenting dumb shit, dumb shit, dumb shit. Where are they? Go listen to Israel Hayom Part 2. Oh shit, shut it down. U.S. bombs Iranian military sites and Kuwait is hit by drone and missile fire. Jesus Christ. Apparently, when I'm reading the Mishnah Niddah, the Talmud, I'm lying and twisting things. But they won't tell me what or how or why or, you know. They're networking. Yeah, they're trying to figure out a way to do this. They're trying to... Here, we have another one. Jekyll! Come on, tell me what I'm lying about there, dum-dum. We all want to hear it. I would love to be wrong. I think you don't understand that part. I would love to be wrong. If in some way, shape, or form, you can figure out a way to show that I'm wrong or I'm lying or whatever, do it. All of us wish I was wrong. All of us wish you didn't exist, therefore this didn't exist. But if you can prove this doesn't exist, then I'm wrong. I don't mind being wrong. I'm okay with it. It's how I got to where I am now. I was wrong about all those other things. Is there anything good in this world? Plenty. This world is amazing. We live in a beautiful, fantastic place. It's just overrun by sickness right now. But the good thing is the sickness only makes up 0.183% of the world, and all we have to do is unify and we can eliminate it really, really quickly. Ah, you must have some key words blocked, I see. Yeah, I have words blocked. That's the excuse. There we go. That's what they came up with. Somehow I knew what they would say, and I blocked them from saying it. The keywords. The keywords to their explanation as to why raping children is okay. Yep, that must be what it is. If you were married to a pig who can't have kids, you'd block words too. I have kids. We have kids. Like, how are you this dumb? I'm blocking words. I didn't block any of those words, though. I just blocked the words that would explain why raping children is okay. Gotcha, bud. That's a pretty good effort on your end. IP is in Brooklyn. Go figure. Yes, I'm in Brooklyn. Right. You know, where they have tunnels so they can store furniture. Or maybe, if it's raining outside, they can have a service inside. They go through the building down into the tunnels when it's raining because, you know, building's not good enough.
What happened to the black button?
Is fuck block? Nope.
No, don't do that.
Can you block words on here? I guess they claim you can. I don't really know how that works, but hey, that's doing it. Fucking desperate, man. On a bloody mattress, right? He just told you where you are. Isn't that enough? 15 and 14, I got 13 and 13. Oh, now he's denying. Why would anybody believe anything you pieces of shit say? Remember, you rape children. 3 years and 1 day. Betrothed through intercourse. And you guys are doing everything you can to avoid talking about it. Like I'm making it up. Because that's what I'm doing. I'm making it all up, you guys. I gotta make shit up to fit this thing. It's not that they're just disgusting, horrible creatures. I gotta make it up. You won't have to wait long. Again, the database is being compiled. it's going to be like a really quick sort of descent. One day, it'll just get exposed. And when that happens, people will go, oh, fuck that, round them up. And now we're able to. Some of my posts are blocked. I can't figure out why, so I just rephrase until it goes through. Right, well, because they do that shit. They fuck with the feed. I have 11 viewers and 13 likes. I mean, just come on. It's all so easy to see. He's probably shocked that you know the right yor to use, because you know they never do. But look, he's desperately trying to get you to stop talking about the Talmud, about the Mishnah Nadah 5-4. A girl who is 3 years old and one day is betrothed by her father, and that betrothal is through intercourse. And if she's less than 3 years in one day, it's like placing a finger into the eye, in that, yeah, it constricts and some tears are shed, but it goes back to normal, just like the hymen grows back. I know I sung about getting blocked from here. Really? I have no business I have no business meddling in the Talmud. Well, how would I ever get any understanding if I didn't read it, while also having such qualified pedophiles on here to explain it? Is it, I mean, it's translated, so yeah, I might not be qualified to read it in your the youngest, ugliest language in the world, but I do know what it says. It's not really hard. We live in a modern age. And see, that's just it, is forever they were able to hide it from us. They were able to hide it from the people. And the people had no idea that this is what this shit says. But see, this is again, instead of explaining what's going on, it's now I'm not qualified. Now this is the new excuse. I'm not qualified to be able to read what it says. Schneerson was a piece of shit. They all are. It's like, was he really that much worse than any other piece of shit? Yeah, nah, I guess. They're all pedophiles. Every last one of them. Even the nice little grandma down the street who, oh, she never says anything or does. She's a pedophile. The day that old grandma says, hey, we need to stop children being raped through the Mishnah Nadat, then maybe we have a different argument here. I can say plenty. I got booted afterwards, not before I say something. You see in the interview with Schneerson's doctors where he admits the rabbi was a hermaphrodite? Oh, I haven't seen that, but I mean, that kind of shit, personally, I'm not going to judge somebody on that unless there's somebody who makes it hard for those, if you're somebody that's preached against trans and all that shit, well then fuck you. You deserve everything. Oh, I know lots of people have their comments removed. Matt will always send me messages and be like, are you ignoring me, or have you not gotten to my comments yet, or are they just not showing up? Because they don't show up. I don't give a single fuck. Oh, you're right. He doesn't care. Children being raped. Doesn't care. The rebel. Yep. See, again, now they're responding to other comments about their piece of shit Schneerson, who was a fucking asshole, pedophile himself. But they won't address what's being said. Why? I'm wrong. I'm twisting. I'm lying. I'm blasphemous. Why won't they explain it? Yep. don't care about children being raped at all. He's admitting it. What does that tell you about these people? If they don't need to be rounded up and executed, then who does? Executed. When you're partaking in child rape and you know, it's just a norm, fuck you. It's time. It's time for you guys to be fucking, you know, eliminated. Oh, my priorities are correct. I don't live in a farm animal that needs to lose weight. So now So first, the can't have kids thing didn't work. So now she's fat? You're so funny. You disrespectful, insulting her. You deserve prison. Somebody needs to stop you from saying these words, because we sure can't. Yells you all you need to know, fortunately. Or tells you, yeah, for sure. They're just fucking stupid. They're stupid. They're dumb enough to come on here and say the things. It's that simple. They can't fucking debunk. They, in fact, without a shadow of a doubt, they are all pedophiles. It's what it is. They're all pedophiles. They you know, you may have some that claim they're not genocidal, even though they're living off of it. They benefit from it. But they at least speak out against it. Oh, they pretend to be against genocide and all that. And Israel shouldn't exist until the Messiah returns to, or the Messiah appears. So Israel shouldn't even exist yet, and that kind of shit. Which is part of their narrative that they love to forget. You know, the word of God is wrong in that regard too. Anti-Semitism must be made illegal. Why? Please tell me why I shouldn't be allowed to hate you. And anti-Semitism simply means anti-Jewish supremacy. Policy or predisposition favorable to Jews. That's what Semitism means. So why should I support policy or predisposition being favorable to you? What happens when the Messiah appears? Everybody gets 2,800 slaves. They all get 2,800 Goyim slaves. Although not chattel slaves like you think in bondage, because that's ridiculous. Fucking piece of shit Shmuley couldn't keep one slave, let alone fucking 2,800. But we're supposed to realize their spiritual superiority and willingly be their slaves when their Messiah returns. I've been saying she's obese. Hey, fat girl. Fat girl. Oh, she's not here. Yeah, she's a big old fat one. That's my wife. Good luck with that. You gotta destroy the Constitution because we are God's child. There you go. Runs out of shit to say, so resets. Because we are God's chosen people in the book that we wrote. That's not backed up by any sort of historical narrative. I mean, seriously, nobody is dumb enough to believe that you dumbasses, 2 to 3 million of you dumbasses, along with all of your livestock, wandered around the desert for 40 years because you couldn't find your way out. That's how stupid you guys are. And your shit is so unbelievable that Moses disappeared for 40 days And when he came back, everybody was like, that shit's not true anyway, so fuck it. Let's worship a golden cow. That's how insincere and stupid your shit is, that after 40 days, everybody was like, fuck it. And actually, they would have had to have said that much earlier than 40 days because you have to construct your idols, you have to get your belief structure out there. That they must have given up on Moses like 3-4 days later. But 40 years they walked around the desert. They could have went hand to hand and would have made it across the desert. Instead, they somehow, through manna is a resin-like tar substance that appears on the sandy desert floor every morning with the dew and gets harvested by those piece of shit women. They harvest enough manna to feed all 2 to 3 million people and the livestock each morning, because manna only lasts 24 hours. And then, less than 24 hours. It lasts till sunset or whatever, because then it goes bad. You can't harvest manna and save it for the next day unless it's Friday, because nobody's allowed to work on the Sabbath on Saturday. So they get their manna. They can use Friday's manna on Saturday. And just like any other thing, just like with the first Aliyah in 1881, where they started invading Palestine, and they failed because it wasn't the utopia yet. So by 1883, Baron Redshield came in and had to buy everything up. It's like the same fucking narrative. There's no like logical connection between part A and part B, so they go, oh yeah, God just made manna appear on the floor. The sandy desert floor. Yeah, that makes so much sense. And all they ate for 40 years was manna. Right? They're so dumb. The same pair of sandals. Can you imagine how much they were crying the whole time? Oh, here we go. Why don't you debate Ben Shapiro or Shmuley? But you won't. I have owned you, and the world would would obliterate your sick narrative. And the would. Why don't I debate them? Oh, because they're trying to debate me, and I'm just so scared. You know Ben Shapiro, you know Shmuley, they would never ever have someone like me come out and be like, yeah, you guys suck on baby dicks. Rape children, 3 years, 1 day. They become yours. Like, why don't you explain the Mishnah Nada? And of course you have this guy being like, I have debunked you. I did it. Look at me. I did it. When? Where? Everybody's still waiting to see it. Ben Zion. That's the name of the guy who invented Hebrew's son. The first native speaker of Hebrew in the world is Ben Zion Yehuda. Eliezer Ben Yehuda's kid. Or Eliezer Itzhak Perlman. But he changed it to Ben Yehuda to sound more Semitic. It's got to be frustrating for them to argue with a dumb Goyim who knows more about their shit than they do. Oh, Shmuley's a piece of shit. He knows it. Shmuley's an absolute piece of shit monster. I know if I rewrote the rules that humans live by, at the top would be no fucking children. I don't care how old they are. No fucking children. And if you get caught even doing anything that has to do with that shit, we're going to kill you. No second chances, no nothing. Death. That'd be my first commandment. Secondly, well, probably tied into the first thing would be no more friars for sure. I would say, I guess I would have to say, yo, if you get caught fucking an animal, you get killed for that too. We don't throw stones at the animal until it dies. Remember, these are the people who throw kittens and puppies and shit into bonfires because they think that's funny. These are just sick fucking people, man. And I'm so glad, I'm so grateful that they're as inbred stupid as they are, that they come in here and continuously prove the point for you guys. If I was just saying this shit by myself, it'd be a much harder point to make. But the fact that they keep pushing it, they keep like saying the dumb shit they do. You know, anybody who's on the fence or whatever, they look at this and they go, well, the guy talking's making a lot of points. And I thought these friars were supposed to be so smart. Why do they keep sounding so stupid? Why do they keep sounding so desperate? Why do they keep saying such dumb shit? It just, everything they do proves the point for me. And I'm just, I'm grateful that they're, if you open up the books on Israel, you demonize Israel, stupid. You'll never ever hear me say, don't look into my past, it'll demonize. Right? Is this okay? No, right? No, get out of here. What's wrong with you?
She was literally just sleeping on the couch. What was she just doing? Why are you eating my plants? Here, do you want them?
Oy vey. Oy vey. Oy vey. Anyway, go get your free download. www.the-bilderberg.group.com. It's free. All we ask is that you share it with people. When you click download, it'll ask you how much you want to pay. If you click 0, it's free. You can put 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. You can put whatever you want in there, and we appreciate it. But all we ask is that you share it. Come on.
What?
Come on, dum diddy dum dum. Gotcha. Go watch Hollywoodism. Go read Israel Hayom, Bottom of Darkness. Like, it's all there. I provide you with the receipts. I provide you with more than enough information to completely destroy their narrative in my description alone. Right? Pay something, it's worth it. I appreciate it. I appreciate you. You basically get a new song every week, so I think it's worth it. For free, for sure, but for $5, $10, definitely. Have yourself a great day. Check out all the receipts, the Havara Agreement, Act.il, Auto Emancipation, the Operation Cast Thy Bread, where they poison drinking water systems, blood libels, all of it. It's all there. I provide you with the best argument possible, just like I do here. But you can look for yourself. So have yourself a great day, and most importantly, you pedophiles, you Mishnah Nida pedophiles, you fucking kill yourself.